This is TOS Television, your digital-first Pan-African news network. I am Abigail Ukwade, and this is Africa Now. To keep their jobs, all civil servants in Zimbabwe must now be vaccinated against COVID-19 before being allowed to report for duty after being given time to get their jabs. The government has permitted churches to move from 100 people at a service to half their capacity if congregants are fully vaccinated. Other social gatherings such as weddings and funerals are still limited to 100 people since it is difficult to enforce the need for vaccination at such events, making further relaxation practically very difficult. Government is targeting to inoculate 10 million Zimbabweans. Still on COVID-19, manufacturers of the COVID-19 vaccines have been accused by the African Union on Tuesday of denying African countries a fair chance to buy them and urge manufacturing countries, in particular India, to lift export restrictions on vaccines and their components. Out of 5.7 billion doses of coronavirus vaccines administered around the world so far, only 2% have been in Africa. Strive Masiyiwa, AU Special Envoy for COVID-19, stressed that in aiming to vaccinate 60% of its population, the African Union and its partners had expected to buy half the doses needed, while half were expected to come as donations through the COVAX program backed by the WHO and the Gavi Global Vaccine Alliance. And away from COVID-19 updates, plans that would bring Russian mercenaries into Mali have been criticized by France's foreign minister on Tuesday, saying such move was incompatible with the French military presence in his former colony. Diplomatic and security sources on Monday said a deal that will allow Russian mercenaries into Mali, extending Russian influence over security affairs in West Africa, is close. France's worry is that the arrival of Russian mercenaries would undermine its decade-old counter-terrorism operation against Al-Qaeda and Islamic State-linked insurgents in the Sahel region of West Africa. Some 114 out of 240 prisoners who escaped from a prison in Nigeria over the weekend have been recaptured by security officials. Heavily armed gunmen late on Sunday raided the medium security jail at Kaba in south-central Nigeria, blowing up the perimeter fence and freeing almost everyone, but killing a soldier and a police officer, authorities said. The authorities have urged the rest to turn themselves in or risk being prosecuted after arrests. And Angola's former president, Jose Eduardo dos Santos, who went into exile in Barcelona since April of 2019, has for the first time returned home on Tuesday ahead of the ruling MPLA's party congress in December and presidential elections next year, the official Angola press news agency reported. After nearly 4 decades as president of Africa's second biggest oil producer, dos Santos stepped down 4 years ago, making him one of the continent's longest-running rulers. He was replaced by João Lourenço, candidate for the incumbent People's Movement for the Liberation of Angola, who sought to investigate allegations of corruption during dos Santos' era, targeting the former leader's children in seeking to recover billions of dollars of siphoned revenue. This is your digital-first Pan-African news network, TOS Television. You are watching Africa Now. We move to business after the break, so stay tuned. Welcome back. In business, President Muhammadu Buhari of Nigeria has written the Senate seeking its approval of fresh borrowing to the tune of over $4 billion in an addendum to the 2018-2020 borrowing plan. Buhari says it is in view of other emerging needs and to ensure that all critical projects approved by the Federal Executive Council as of June 2021 are incorporated. The project listed in the external borrowing plan are to be financed through sovereign loans from the World Bank, French Development Agency, Exim Bank, and IFAD. Nigeria's economy is estimated to grow between 2.5% and 3% this fiscal year, Central Bank Governor Godwin Emefiele said on Tuesday after an easing of lockdown and increased vaccination boosted business, including international and local travel. Africa's largest economy had contracted in 2020 due to the coronavirus pandemic, though in the fourth quarter it managed to exit its recession, the second since 2016, and growth has now increased for 3 consecutive quarters quarters to June 30th. The World Bank forecasted Nigeria's growth at 1.9% in 2021 and 2.1% in 2022, compared with 3.4% this year and 4.0% next year for sub-Saharan Africa. And to Sudan, for the first time under Sudan's 2-year-old transitional government, inflation decreased as the currency shows signs of stabilizing following a year of tough economic reforms. Inflation slowed sharply from 422.78% in July to 387.56%, ending a trend of steep monthly increases that have brought inflation to a level not seen in decades. According to government data, inflation rose in 5 of Sudan's 18 states, with Gadaref State recording the highest rate of 977.01%. On Monday, Sudan's central bank said the country had managed to increase exports to 68% while still saying that the level was insufficient. And moving away from business, until Egypt takes specific related steps to human rights, the Biden administration has said it will withhold $130 million worth of military aid to Cairo, a U.S. State Department spokesperson said on Tuesday. Secretary of State Antony Blinken's move is a break with his predecessor's policy of overriding a congressional check on military aid to Egypt. In the past, an exception was granted to free up foreign military financing to Abdel Fattah al-Sisi's government worth $300 million this fiscal year, on the basis that it was in the interest of U.S. national security. But rights group, which had called on the administration to block the entire $300 million aid, expressed disappointment at the decision, saying it was a betrayal of the U.S. commitment to promote human rights. And after a 15-year renovation, Egypt on Tuesday finally reopened the 4,700-year-old southern tomb of King Djoser of the Pyramid of Saqqara to tourists. Following the coronavirus pandemic, the North African country is keen to reinvigorate tourism and has unveiled a series of new discoveries and a new museum in recent months. Mustafa Waziri, Secretary General of Egypt's Supreme Council of Antiquities, said the southern tomb, built between 266-7 BC and 2648 BC, is thought to have been built for symbolic reasons or perhaps to hold Djoser's internal organs. And that is Africa Now. For more updates, to visit our website at www.tostvnetwork.com. Follow us and like our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And remember to subscribe on YouTube to stay with us and enjoy more programs on TOS Television Network. I am Abigail Ukwade. Thanks for watching.